Hello everyone, welcome to Physics Online classes for class 12 students. Let us continue chapter 6 Electromagnetic Induction. Today we are going to solve NCERT numerical problems part 2. In the previous class we solved NCERT numerical problems part 1. So remaining numerical problems we can solve in today's class. 6.4 A rectangular wire loop of sides 8 cm and 2 cm with a small cut is moving out of a region of uniform magnetic field having magnitude 0.3 Tesla directed normal to the loop. What is the EMF developed across the cut if velocity of the loop is 1 cm per second in a direction normal to the first one is longer side, second one is normal to the shorter side of the loop. For how long does induced voltage last in each case? See here it is given a rectangular wire loop. This rectangular wire loop is having the sides 8 cm and 2 cm with a small cut. You can take this is the small cut. This is a rectangular loop. This is a rectangular loop and this is moving. Where it is moving? It is moving in uniform magnetic field. See here, let us consider this is uniform magnetic field. In this region, this rectangular loop is moving. When it is moving in a uniform magnetic field, magnetic flux linked with this rectangular loop changes, induced EMF takes place that we have to calculate. What is the EMF developed across the cut if velocity of the loop is 1 meter per second? Velocity is given 1 meter per second. Where it is moving, the velocity of this loop is normal to longer side first case, velocity of the loop is normal to shorter side is second case. And also we have to find how long does induced voltage last in each case. In each case, we have to find induced EMF and also we have to calculate the time. See here, first we can write down the givens. Length and breadth is given 8 cm and 2 cm. We can take it as length is 8 cm, breadth is 2 cm. What is the value of area? Area will be length into breadth. 8 into 2, that will be 16 cm. Or we can write 16 cm square, or you can write in terms of meter square, that is 16 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. This is area. Then magnetic field is given B equal to 0.3 Tesla. Then velocity is given 1 meter per second. 1 centimeter per second it is. So we can write in terms of meter, that means 1 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter per second. These are the givens. But there are two cases here. I am going to solve the first case. The first case is all about velocity normal to longer side. Velocity normal to longer side. Velocity normal to longer side. So longer side means we should consider length 8 cm because this longer side it is moving normally, right? Velocity is normal to the longer side. So here we can take the part AB. So we can take the length is 8 cm. We know the formula for induced EMF E equal to BLV. Magnetic field is given 0.3 Tesla into length is 8 cm. In terms of meter, 8 into 10 raised to minus 2. Then velocity is given 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. So calculate these value, we will get induced EMF E equal to, I am directly going to write the answer, 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 volt. This is induced EMF when velocity is normal to longer side. Then we have to calculate the time. How to calculate time? See here, time means I am going to use the equation distance traveled divided by velocity, because we know that V equal to S by T, S equal to V into T, or T equal to, we want a time interval, so we can write T equal to S divided by V. So this equation I am using here, distance divided by velocity, substitute their value, t equal to distance. In place of distance, what you are going to consider? We have to find time. How long does induced voltage last in each case? You can observe velocity is normal to the longer side. When velocity is normal to the longer side, in place of distance, we have to consider 2 centimeter. 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. Velocity is given 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Now the question arises, why we have to take 2 centimeter, why not 8 centimeter? Observe this diagram. Here this rectangular loop is moving in this uniform magnetic field. How it is moving? Only this longer side is perpendicularly moving to this uniform magnetic field. Velocity is perpendicular to uniform magnetic field. This part is moving. So this part is moving means which length is moving here? You can observe. See here, AB is constant. Only 2 centimeter. This part is changing. Observe here. AB is not changing here. Only you can take it as C. CA is gone changing. CA is moving, not AB. AB is perpendicular to the velocity. But here it is moving. Moving means which part is moving? The short side of this rectangular loop is moving. So we have to consider the length for the shorter side, and that is 2 centimeter. Right? So now we will get the answer. 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 divided by 1 into 10 raised to minus 2 means we will get the answer 2 seconds. Right? So this is the time interval. This is for the first case. Similarly, we can find for second case. Yes, observe here the second case. Second case is velocity is normal to the shorter side. Velocity normal to shorter side. Same method we can use here. Shorter side means we can take length as 2 centimeter. The formula is E equal to BLV. B is 0.3. L value 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. Velocity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Directly I am going to write the answer. E is equal to 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 4 volt. This is induced EMF for the shorter side. Right? But how to find time interval? So time means again we can consider. Observe here I am going to take. Here I am going to find time is given by t, distance divided by velocity, t equal to, observe here in the second case, the velocity is normal to shorter side. Velocity is normal to shorter side means this velocity we have to consider. Right? Now observe which part is changing. This AB part is moving, not CD, or you can take CB. Observe carefully. When the velocity is normal to shorter side, this is the shorter side. Now it is moving in this direction. When it is moving downward, which part is actually moving here? The longer side is moving, shorter side is not moving. So we have to consider the time or the distance for the longer side. T equal to distance by velocity. Distance means here we have to consider 8 centimeter divided by velocity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. So time we will get is 8 seconds. So this is the time taken by this rectangular loop to move in that uniform magnetic field. Is it clear? In the first case, E equal to 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 4. In the second case, induced EMF E equal to 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 4. Time is 2 seconds for the first case, 8 seconds for the second case. Yes, 6.5. A 1 meter long metallic rod, let us consider 1 meter long metallic rod with an angular frequency of 400 radian per second about an axis normal to the rod passing through its one end. We can consider an axis. This axis is normal to the one end of the rod, right? So now it is rotating. The other end of the rod is in contact with the circular metallic ring. Let us imagine the other end is in contact with the circular metallic ring. A constant uniform magnetic field is parallel to the axis and it will exist everywhere. Calculate EMF developed between center and the ring. Yes, we have to find EMF developed between center and the ring. First we can observe here the givens. A long metallic rod is having a length 1 meter, it is given. Then angular frequency omega is given 400 radian per second. Then magnetic field is given 0.5 Tesla. We have to find induced EMF E. Observe here in this problem, it is given linear velocity of one end of the rod is 0 and linear velocity of other end of the rod is having certain value. For example, if I am going to consider one end, here the axis is passing through the one end and it is rotating. But the other end is fixed to circular metallic ring but it is not moving. So we can consider one side it is having 0 velocity, another side it is having certain angular velocity. So I am going to write, observe here, linear velocity of one rod. Linear velocity of one end is 0. One end of the rod is 0. And linear velocity of another end is taken as, observe here, we know the formula V equal to R omega, that gives linear velocity. Because it is fixed to axis of rotation, it is moving with certain angular velocity omega. So another end I can take it as V equal to R omega. In place of R means we can take it as L length. So I can write L omega. One side it is 0, another side it is having L omega, that is velocity. So we want average velocity. We can find first average velocity, that is V equal to one side is 0 plus another side is L omega divided by 2. Sum of two values divided by 2, that gives average value, or L omega divided by 2, that gives average velocity. Now we can find the induced EMF. Yes, we know the formula E equal to BLV. Substitute the value 0.5 into length is 1 meter into velocity, average velocity is L omega divided by 2, right? Or we can write 0.5 into 1 into L value is 1, omega value is 400 divided by 2. Calculate this value, we will get the answer 100 volt. What is the value of E? 100 volt. This is the induced EMF, or the EMF developed between center and the ring. Here's the next question. A circular coil of radius 8 cm and 20 turns is rotated about its vertical diameter with an angular speed of 50 radian per second in a uniform horizontal magnetic field of magnitude 3 into 10 raised to minus 2 Tesla. Obtain maximum and average EMF induced in the coil. If the coil forms a closed loop of resistance 10 ohm, calculate the maximum value of current in the coil. Calculate average power loss due to Joule heating. Where does this power come from? We have to find maximum EMF and average EMF and maximum current, then average power loss. At last, where does this power come from? So here what we have to find, first I will write. Maximum EMF is denoted by E naught. Second question, average EMF, we can write E average. Then third one, they asked to calculate maximum value of current means we have to calculate I naught. Then fourth question, average power loss, we have to calculate P. Fifth one, where does this power come from? That we have to calculate. These are the 5 questions. We can solve one by one. A circular coil of radius is given. Radius is given 8 centimeter. We can write 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Number of turns is given n equal to 20. It is rotated about vertical diameter with angular speed. Omega is given 50 radian per second. So these are the givens, and also it is given resistance R equal to 10 ohm. So these are the givens. Right? Using these givens we can find one by one. The first one is all about the maximum EMF. We already derived an equation for maximum EMF. So the equation is given by E naught equal to first one, E naught equal to NAB omega. E naught equal to NAB omega. Substitute the value. E naught equal to N is number of turns 20. Area is not given, but here instead of area they had given radius. So we can write in place of A as pi r square. Then B is given how much? 50, B is given magnetic field 3 into 10 raised to minus 2 Tesla, 3 into 10 raised to minus 2 into omega is given 50. Substitute all the values. 20 into 3.142, radius is 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole square into 3 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 50. Calculate these value, we will get the value of E naught. So we will get the answer after calculating 0.603 volt. This is the maximum EMF induced in the coil. Right? Then second question, we have to find average value of EMF induced over one complete rotation, one complete cycle. Remember, the average value of one full cycle, one complete cycle is always equal to 0, because you can observe whatever the current is induced in a coil, this is alternating current. That gives one complete cycle. Start with 0 and this is maximum value E naught, and this is negative maximum minus E naught, and again here it is 0 and so on. For one complete cycle, what is the average EMF? Average value of EMF for one complete cycle is 0, because observe here the positive maximum and the negative maximum. Positive maximum is plus E naught, negative maximum is minus E naught. When you are going to find the value, you can observe here E average is equal to sum of EMF divided by 2. I can take E naught plus minus E naught divided by 2. So what is the answer? 0. Remember, the average value of EMF induced in a coil for one complete cycle is 0. Then third question, it is about maximum current I naught. We have the equation for Ohm's law, V equal to IR, I equal to V divided by R. I want maximum current, I equal to, I can modify this equation as E naught divided by R. In place of potential difference, we can write maximum induced EMF, E naught divided by R. E naught is 0.603 divided by resistance is given 10. So we will get the answer 0.0603 ampere. This is the maximum current. Then fourth question. What is the fourth question? The power loss. Power dissipated as heat energy. So here it is given by the equation. Power dissipation, we can take it as P is equal to, we have the direct formula for power dissipation, that is E naught I naught divided by 2. What is the equation? P equal to E naught I naught divided by 2. Here about this equation in detail you are going to study in alternating current. Now directly I am going to use this equation. Substitute the value of E naught and I naught. E naught is 0.603, I naught is 0.0603 divided by 2. So we will get the value of power dissipation, power loss as 0.018 watt. 0.018 watt is the power loss or power dissipation as heat energy. Now the last question, where does this power come from? Observe here, the induced current that causes a torque. Torque means rotational motion. The induced current causes a torque which opposes rotation of the coil. Because we already know that when magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, induced EMF takes place, induced current takes place, and this induced current opposes rotation of the coil. It opposes changing magnetic flux. When it opposes the rotation of the coil, then we are using an external agent. We are using a rotor, external rotor. This rotor will supply rotational motion to this coil, because whatever the induced EMF takes place, that opposes the rotation. So we are using an external agency to rotate that coil. So here the source of the power dissipated as heat energy in the coil is the external agent, that is rotor. So this power come from rotor, that is the last one. Fifth one is what? Rotor. Rotor will give the power, or the power come from rotor, because when coil is rotating, flux changes, induced current takes place. This induced current now opposes rotational motion of the coil. So we are using an external agency or the rotor to rotate the coil. So power comes from rotor. Right? Next one, a horizontal straight wire of 10 meter long extending from east to west is falling with a speed of 5 meter per second at right angles to the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 Weber per meter square. What is the instantaneous value of EMF induced in the wire? Second one, what is the direction of the EMF? Third one, which end of the wire is at the higher electric potential, that we have to calculate. The first one is instantaneous EMF. Observe here, I can use the givens. Length is given 10 meter, velocity is given 5 meter per second. Earth's magnetic field is given 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 Weber per meter square or Tesla. Then we can find the first question A, instantaneous EMF. The suitable induced EMF is here B, L, V. All the values are given. B is 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 4. L is 10 meter and V is 5 meter per second. Substitute the value. We will get the final answer E equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt. Come to the second question. What is the direction of EMF? Yes, we know that Fleming's right hand rule that gives the direction of EMF. According to Fleming's right hand rule, the direction of induced EMF is from where to where? Observe the question. A horizontal straight wire extending from east to west. I can take the directions here. North, south, east, west. The wire, horizontal wire is from east to west. In this direction we have to consider the wire. Now we have to find what is the direction of EMF. We already know that the induced EMF is always opposite direction to its initial value. So we can say that according to Fleming's right hand rule, the direction of induced EMF is from west to east. Then third question, which end of the wire is at the highest electric potential? which is having higher potential, whether east or the west end. Here the west end of the wire is having high electric potential because induced EMF takes place where? At the west end. So we can say that west end of the wire is at higher electric potential.